conference.
So we say we oppose pedophilia, more support?
Yep.
Okay.
Apparently.
Then we have to start supporting pedophilia.
Mic check.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody come in the middle. We're having a press conference here. There's somebody that was arrested unlawfully. One of our native brothers. Shame! Shame! We stand in solidarity with Jason Fleury for what happened to him. We stand together for our native brothers and sisters around the world against the corruption and the crimes against humanity in the residential schools. They cannot cover up the crimes against humanity on native lands, on native people. So I introduce you to Jason. Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge our territories that we're on. I'd like to thank everybody that came out today to listen to what we have to share with. I'd like to say, first of all, that I'm okay. The only setback that I suffer is trauma. I have fear now. Fear has been installed into me. There's a lot of confusion that goes through my heart. And this confusion's deep. Because we couldn't understand what was going on to our people here during those times. But I've forgiven everybody because this is about settling our differences in a peaceful way. What I'd like to share with everybody is the fact that there are laws that do work here. And when all these laws are not recognized, we're going to have conflicts. This is not about a dispute between Rob Ford and the occupiers in this movement. This is about a spirit here. And this spirit cannot be broken. I want your leaders to know today
6 p.m. for General
that we won't stand for this type of tactics. I was hurt and I was beaten, but I'm still here today with an open heart and an open mind. We have brothers and sisters here today in the crowd that will share with Mr. Ford and his leaders the information that he needs to know. And what we need to understand is that we need to create unity here. There's been eviction notices that have been handed down. And where do these eviction notices come from? When our land claims are not being settled properly in your courts. I've said this before and I'll say it again. This is between us and the Queen. And if Rob Ford wants to pretend that he cares, then we need to remind him to fulfill his promises. Because so far, his track record hasn't been 100% clean. Our record has been absolutely clean. We don't go around beating people up because we're angry. We're here because we want peace and unity and solidarity, as these elders have been asking for. All our people are being attacked and being imprisoned because they are standing up for what they believe in. We have an elder out on the West Coast by the name of Harold Nahaney, who was falsely imprisoned and died. We have a political prisoner by the name of Leonard Pelcher, who 37 years later is still denied his rights.
We have a brother in the audience here that I think that needs to be heard, because he will set the track record here for Mr. Floyd and his leaders, and he needs to be heard today. So I'd like to thank everybody that came out today and heard what we had to say, because we need to educate not only ourselves, but the world out there that is not being heard properly, that is being misguided by your elected leaders, that have no intentions to protect our people. And the elders tell us that we have to understand their ways. And the changes are being met in your courts. So I'd like to welcome up a brother here, and I'd like to allow him to share a few words with you elected leaders. Thank you.
Woo! Woo!
Thank you, Jason. Dahoke Doja, Ganyangi Haga, we know ourselves Moha, we know ourselves as Ganyangi Haga. Well, there's only really one treaty that everyone keeps talking about treaties. We have the 1701, the British called it the Beaver Hunting Ground Treaty, which was created after the Great Peace of Montreal, June 25th, 1701. When 47 nations from Great Turtle Island, from the Arctic Ocean to the Atlantic to the Pacific to the Gulf of Mexico, all met in Montreal, and we decided that, yes, we will put an end to the war problem. We will invite all our brothers from across the Great Waters, from all four races, white, red, black, and yellow, to come and live with us in perpetual peace under Bushwenta, the two-world war. This is the only treaty we have. That's why you're all visitors here of us Mohawk. And in peace. Bushwenta means we will live perpetually, forever in peace. And this is the only treaty that you guys need to think about. Plus, some of the illegal laws, like the 1924 Indian Land Act that Duncan Campbell Scott, the architect of genocide, signed, that Ontario, this is what they rely upon for all of your land rights. So there's some real sensitive issues here. But these are the things that need to be talked about. I don't like to hear everyone talking about this treaty or that treaty. There's only one, the two-world wampum, Bushwenta. So everyone continue on in peace. This is what we're here for. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. No, it's about standing up and speaking out. It's about the speaker's corner here in the park. And everybody's got a voice, so we must be heard, and we must stand up for our brothers and sisters when they're being attacked by this proposed police state that they want to enforce, you know? A lot of good officers out there, but what's happening is they're passing laws, they're breaking laws. You know, they passed the Ontario Public Works Act, which was illegal. You know, they break laws. That's what they do. They enforce illegal laws. They want to bring in this spy grid on Canadians. Every one of you will be spied on with no warrants. Your name, your number, your location, information. So we all have to stand up and defeat this together. Because it's un-Canadian. It's unlawful what they're doing to us. Because they're scared, because they're criminals. Because they're the real ones that are scared. And we are not scared because we are the people. We are the 99%.
We are we.
And our voices will not be silenced. This is about history, folks. This is going to be a longevity process. This ain't going to happen overnight. Even when they do try to evict us, we're going to keep coming back. We're not going to leave because freedom is on the line. The future is on the line. It's about standing up because we know we're all going to be buried under the ground or cremated one day, but it's what you stand for here and now. It's what you look back on. And you say, you know what? Did I fight? Did I stand against adversity? You know, did I stand up when the time was called? That's what your grandchildren will say. Were you there? Were you there, or did you just sit on the sidelines? So, you know, you can share those stories with your grandchildren one day, that we were all here in this together around the world. This is a global movement for change, for the future of our countries, for our cities, for our communities. You know, and the media comes out and attacks us because we have an epidemic in society with alcoholism, with homelessness, and we try to tackle those problems the best we can in a participatory democracy, taking care of those people, showing them compassion and love, feeding them, making sure they have a full stomach, talking to them, making sure that we're loving them. Because this mayor is not compassionate at all. He once said that he didn't even want to have a discussion of having a homeless shelter in his ward before he became the mayor of the city. He actually said, let's have a public lynching. Shame on him, you know? And he wanted to cut back public libraries across this city. And our city, this great city of Toronto, well, we have our public library right here. Come on down, Mr. Ford. Come and read a book. I think you need to read many books. And one of them is by Margaret Atwood. You can come down and read one of those books because they don't seem to know who she is. You know, we're dealing with these people that believe they can dictate what our city needs to be, and they don't know what the city should be. We know what the city should be, the citizens. It's about all of us together having a voice, speaking up. We all have to be politically engaged right now because we're facing cuts to firefighters, proposed cuts to libraries and daycares. There's a 20-year waiting list for social housing in this city. 10 to 20 years, I heard. You know, people can't even get a home. They can't even get shelter. So, of course, you know, we have this problem in this city within a city. It's an epicenter. It's an epicenter, and we're attracting all types of people. And we welcome it. We welcome all types of people so we can all engage with each other and help each other. So this is the open mic speaker's corner. If anybody would like to come up and speak, you're welcome. This is for the people, by the people.